The cleaner was eating when someone accidentally kicked over his lunchbox, but instead of apologizing, the person thought he was bad luck. He tossed the lottery tickets he just bought at the man. To everyone's surprise, the man picked them up and found he had won $1 billion. He immediately rushed to the lottery center to confirm the win. The owner at first wanted to dismiss the dirty-looking man, but when he verified the prize, his face instantly changed. The man quickly grabbed the ticket back, thinking he could finally buy a big house for his son. The next day he brought a bag of farm eggs and cured meat, wanting to surprise his son and daughter-in-law who had just gotten married. But as soon as the door opened, his daughter-in-law mistook him for a junk collector and kicked him out, complaining that he smelled bad. The man hurried to explain he was her father-in-law, but the in-laws mocked him for being too poor to eat and mooching in the city. He had brought a box of eggs out of kindness, but his daughter-in-law knocked them to the ground in disgust. Just then his son came out, but instead of inviting him in, he scolded him for causing trouble. The man wanted to tell him about the billion-dollar win, but before he could say a word, his son interrupted, thinking he had just brought some local specialties from the village. Before he could explain, he was pushed out the door, unaware that the bag was actually full of cash. As the son stepped back inside, his wife slapped him across the face. He stood outside the door, listening to his son and daughter-in-law, blaming him for being useless, saying he wasn't even fit to use their bathroom. The man turned and walked away in silence, heading straight to the luxury real estate office. This time he was going to buy the most high-end villa in the city. The manager personally arranged a 5-star ceremony for him, preparing to document the special moment. Just before the ceremony began, his son and daughter-in-law happened to visit the same office to look at houses. They saw the high-end event and asked the sales agent about it. After learning a top-tier villa had just been sold to a mystery buyer, they began trying to curry favor with the agent, guessing which rich boss had dropped millions on the place. The next second, the man appeared at the door. They were completely shocked, but the father-in-law sneered like always, saying he could work forever and still not afford a bathroom. The man tried to explain that he was the one who had just bought the villa, but his daughter-in-law laughed coldly, thinking he was just there to freeload and live with them. She immediately threatened to divorce her husband and demanded he kick his father out. None of them realized the so-called mystery buyer was actually their own father-in-law. The daughter-in-law kept yelling at her husband, telling him to get rid of the old man, with her and the in-laws pushing him. The son exploded with anger. The next moment he rushed over and slapped his father in front of everyone. The man fell silent. He finally understood that money can't buy family love, but he didn't know the manager had already prepared the property documents. And yet, his son kept yelling and insulting him, saying he wanted to cut ties completely. Seeing how cold his son had become, the man agreed to sever the relationship. Just as he was about to leave, his daughter-in-law blocked his way. Then the real estate agent stepped in and pinned him down, even forcing him to kneel on the ground. The man endured the humiliation, only to be kicked hard by his own son. As the situation spiraled out of control, the manager finally arrived on the scene.